In the shadows of society, there exists a type of man that many fear, but few truly understand. The most dangerous man is not the one who screams the loudest or waves his fists in anger. No, the most dangerous man is the one who stands alone, in a silence that speaks louder than all words combined. You won't see his scars. They're buried deep, etched into his soul, earned in battles fought in silence, without witnesses, without applause. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." But there's more to it than that. This man has faced his demons alone, in the darkness of his own mind, in what Carl Jung called the shadow, that part of ourselves we prefer to ignore. He has rebuilt himself from the foundations, stone by stone, thought by thought. Modern psychology teaches us that resilience isn't innate, it's forged. And he has forged it in the flames of solitude, in the fire of adversity. Like a blacksmith hammering steel in the depths of his forge, he has shaped his character through countless nights of introspection, through endless hours of confronting the parts of himself that others run from. This man doesn't seek validation from crowds. He doesn't beg for approval. As the philosopher Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few needs. And his needs he has reduced to the essential: authenticity, integrity, and an inner strength that no one can take from him. While others chase external validation like moths to a flame, he has learned to generate his own light from within. He has sculpted his strength in solitude, that solitude which Blaise Pascal described as the source of all human misfortunes, because we don't know how to remain alone with ourselves. But he has learned. He has transformed this solitude into a sanctuary, into a forge for his character. Where others see isolation, he sees opportunity for growth. Where others fear loneliness, he finds clarity. Psychological resilience, according to Antonovsky's research, stems from a sense of coherence, the ability to understand, manage, and find meaning in difficult experiences. This man has developed this sense beyond the average. He understands that pain isn't the enemy, it's the most ruthless but most effective teacher. Every setback has become a setup for a comeback, every wound a source of wisdom. The concept of post-traumatic growth, pioneered by psychologists Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun, reveals that some individuals don't merely survive their traumas, they emerge from them transformed, like a phoenix rising from ashes. This man embodies this phenomenon. He has learned to transmute suffering into strength, chaos into clarity, despair into determination. If you're welcomed into his life, if his walls come down for you, don't think it's by chance. No, it's a deliberate choice, weighed, considered. He has seen something authentic in you, something that resonates with his own truth. His circle is small, not because he's antisocial, but because he's selective. Quality over quantity isn't just a preference for him, it's a survival strategy. As Arthur Schopenhauer explained, we are like hedgehogs in the cold. We draw close for warmth, but our spines wound each other. He has learned to find the perfect distance, close but not vulnerable, open but not naive. He chooses his companions with the wisdom of a philosopher and the caution of a strategist. Every relationship is intentional, every connection purposeful. But never mistake his silence for weakness. That's a fatal error. His silence is quiet power, a gravitational force that attracts and commands respect. Lao Tzu taught that those who know do not speak, those who speak do not know. This man has integrated this wisdom. He hoards his words like a miser hoards gold, because he knows their scarcity increases their value. In a world of noise, his silence is deafening. In a culture of oversharing, his restraint is revolutionary. He has learned what the ancient Stoics knew, that true power lies not in what you say, but in what you choose not to say. His words, when they come, carry the weight of mountains because they are backed by experience, refined by reflection, and delivered with precision. He has been broken before, yes, but he didn't shatter into 1,000 pieces, like the Japanese art of kintsugi, which repairs broken pottery with gold. He has rebuilt himself by making his fractures more beautiful than his original state. The cracks in his soul have become channels for light to shine through. His wounds have become his wisdom, his scars his strength. Post-traumatic psychology teaches us the concept of post-traumatic growth. Some people don't merely survive their traumas, they emerge stronger, wiser, deeper. Each reconstruction has made him more solid, like a bone that strengthens at the point of fracture. He has learned what Viktor Frankl discovered in the concentration camps, that everything can be taken from a man except one thing, his freedom to choose his attitude toward circumstances, however terrible they may be. This freedom, the ultimate human freedom, he has claimed as his birthright. While others remain prisoners of their past, he has become the author of his future. While others blame their circumstances, he takes responsibility for his responses. This is where his true danger lies, in his absolute ownership of his choices, his reactions, his life. If you betray him, if you provoke him, remember this: his silence isn't submission, it's a warning. Like a tsunami that first pulls back the waters before crashing with devastating force, his apparent calm often precedes a reaction of surgical precision. He doesn't act from emotion, he acts from calculation. He doesn't strike from anger, he strikes from strategy. A man who knows his strength and masters his patience is the one to be most wary of. He doesn't roar to prove his power. Lions don't need to tell you they're lions. He acts when it truly matters, with the precision of a chess master who has calculated his moves tours in advance. Every action is deliberate, every response measured, every consequence anticipated. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This man has found that strength. He has understood that true power doesn't lie in the ability to dominate others, but in mastery of oneself. While others are slaves to their impulses, he is the master of his domain. The psychological research on emotional regulation shows that those who can control their emotional responses are more successful in every area of life. This man has turned emotional regulation into an art form. His anger, when it comes, is cold and calculating rather than hot and destructive. His joy is deep and abiding rather than shallow and fleeting. His fear is transformed into caution, his sadness into wisdom. His loyalty runs deep, like the roots of a centuries-old oak. When he gives you his word, it's a contract signed with his blood, engraved in his honor. Trust for him isn't given lightly. It's earned through consistent actions over time. But once earned, it's absolute. He would walk through fire for those who have proven themselves worthy. But betrayal awakens a storm you won't see coming, because unlike the loud storms that announce themselves with lightning and thunder, his anger is a silent blizzard that transforms everything into a frozen wasteland. He doesn't seek revenge with the crude weapons of violence or screaming. His justice is more refined, more definitive. He simply withdraws his presence, and you discover then how precious that presence was. Psychology teaches us that the most dangerous people aren't those who explode in anger, but those who master their emotions, who channel their energy with clear intention and iron will. This man has turned rage into determination, pain into wisdom, isolation into independence. He has become a force of nature, unpredictable in his reactions, but predictable in his principles. Nietzsche spoke of the Übermensch, the man who creates himself beyond conventional values. This solitary man embodies this philosophy. He doesn't follow the herd's rules, he writes his own with the ink of experience and the blood of his battles. He understands what few understand, that true freedom begins when you stop needing others' approval to exist. In a world of men who beg for attention like starving children, he feeds on his own essence, draws strength from his own convictions. He is simultaneously the architect, the builder, and the inhabitant of his own destiny. While others are construction projects, he is a completed masterpiece. Not perfect, but whole, not without flaws, but integrated. The concept of individuation, central to Jungian psychology, describes the process by which a person becomes whole, unified, and authentic. This man has completed this journey. He has faced his shadow, integrated his anima, and emerged as a complete human being. This completion, this wholeness, is what makes him so formidable. He fights from a place of completeness, not from a place of need. His intelligence isn't just intellectual, it's emotional, social, and spiritual.
He reads people like books, understands motivations like a psychologist, and predicts behavior like a chess master. This multidimensional intelligence, combined with his emotional stability and moral clarity, creates a formidable combination that few can match and even fewer can manipulate. He has learned the art of strategic thinking from studying great military minds, the patience of a monk from contemplating Buddhist philosophy, and the resilience of a survivor from overcoming his own trials. He is a synthesis of warrior and philosopher, of strength and wisdom, of power and restraint. When conflict comes, and it always does in life, he doesn't meet it with equal force. He meets it with superior strategy. Sun Tzu wrote in The Art of War that the supreme excellence is to subdue the enemy without fighting. This man has mastered this art. His very presence often ends conflicts before they begin, his reputation preceding him like a shield. So when you encounter this man, and you'll recognize him by his quiet aura, by eyes that have seen more than they reveal, by a presence that commands respect without demanding it, remember, you are in the presence of a force of human nature, a man who has chosen to become dangerous, not through malice, but through mastery. Not through aggression, but through competence. Respect him, for he has earned that respect in the flames of adversity. Appreciate him if he chooses you, for that choice comes from a man who needs no one, but has decided to want you in his life. His friendship is not a convenience, it's an honor. His trust is not an expectation, it's a gift. And if you have the misfortune of crossing him as an enemy, remember that his greatest weapon isn't anger or hatred, but infinite patience combined with a perfect memory. He doesn't forget slights, but neither does he act on them immediately. He waits, he watches, he calculates, and when the moment is right, he acts with the precision of a surgeon and the finality of fate. Because the most dangerous man isn't the one who strikes first, but the one who strikes last and never misses his target. In a world full of noise, he is the silence that speaks volumes. In a world full of weakness disguised as bravado, he is strength disguised as calm. In a world full of men pretending to be dangerous, he is the real thing. And that makes all the difference.